Hi, I'm Fred Celio. I'm going to talk a little bit about CalWorks, welfare to work, and that relationship, and also benefits that may be available to students. CalWorks has a program that's statewide and provides cash and other services to eligible recipients. Welfare to Work program is an employment and training program. It's designed to promote self-sufficiency. So people who are eligible for CalWorks may also be eligible or be required to participate in the Welfare to Work program. This program takes approximately 48 months. There are exemptions that can slow down that clock, that can slow down that time. Um, and it provides job search and help with becoming self-sufficient, obtaining a job. Initially, being on CalWorks, initially applying for welfare to work, the client has an appraisal through an online appraisal tool, and this is to find out, the health of the person and their suitability to participate in welfare to work while remaining on CalWorks. Uh, some people aren't eligible. We'll talk about that later. Um, many of the recipients, well, as I was just saying, many of them uh, may be exempt from welfare to work, and or they might have the time they need to complete a welfare to work plan. They may have that time extended. For example, people with health issues, whether that be physical or mental health, or those victimized by domestic violence, their welfare to work plan may be extended longer than the 48-month limit. Other recipients can already be enrolled in a course of study. So this would be a self-initiated program, and they would be allowed, encouraged, and helped to complete that program to prepare themselves for the job market. If people, like I said, if people aren't already, well, aren't in a self-initiated program or SIP, if they're not already enrolled, they do an assessment and are assisted by the state through the county with what they need to prepare for a job, whether that be educational, vocational educational, or simply job search. In fact, the first 4 weeks, um, during the first 4 weeks of beginning welfare to work, uh, most people are doing job search at that time. This pretty much emphasizes what I just talked about. Now, which CalWorks beneficiaries are also eligible for welfare to work? I start this out by uh, talking about who's not eligible. Um, those would be people disabled for at least 30 days, children under 16, someone who's under 19 and in school full time, and people over 60. These are people who would not be required or get the benefit of welfare to work, yet they would still remain on CalWorks. Some other groups of people are those caring for a relative's child who requires care that prevents them from working, at home caring for a sick or incapacitated relative, caring for a child under 1 year old, or someone who's pregnant. Now, these people will continue to receive CalWorks without having to go the extra step of receiving the benefits of welfare to work to prepare themselves for a job. Obviously, these are people who have things that supersede employment. All other assistance units, which is a CalWorks term, which is a group of people who are together, they're considered an assistant unit. All others, other than those previously mentioned, they're eligible for the welfare to work benefits. Immigrants are a special case. They can be part of assistance units and sponsored by a citizen who qualifies for CalWorks. In that case, the immigrant would automatically be on CalWorks. They may also benefit from the Welfare to Work program, meaning an immigrant who's come over sponsored by another person who's meets the qualifications for CalWorks and Welfare to Work. That person can go through the immigrant who is sponsored by that person, can go through a training program, an educational program, and be prepared for a job. There's also, it really isn't part of CalWorks, but there's this CAPI benefit program. Now, this supplies immigrants who are aged, blind, and disabled, or not eligible for SSI because of their immigration status. It does supply them with a cash benefit. Now, what does this mean? What does this all mean for college students? Well, any student who's a member of an assistant unit under CalWorks would be eligible for the welfare to work benefits. For example, if someone was part of a family, couple married, they have a child, and they don't make enough money, so they meet the qualifications for CalWorks, they can be helped out in paying for their education, including tuition and books. It also should be pointed out, this is not just for students, but it's good for students to know. The benefits include SNAP or CalFresh. Basically, those are food benefits that are supplied by the state through the county. They're also eligible for Medicaid, medical coverage called Medi-Cal here in California. And this is pretty much the end of the presentation. Just giving credit to where I got the information, which was from other presentations in the class and through reading mostly the CDSS CA website. Thank you. I hope you learned something.